Spiritual awakening, the key to combating climate change. Imagine a world where the key to solving our climate crisis isn't just advanced technology or policy changes, but a profound spiritual awakening. This idea might challenge the common belief that science and innovation alone can save us. But here's where it gets controversial. Could it be that our deepest environmental problems stem from a spiritual deficit rather than a lack of technical solutions? During my time living in Cambodia, I committed to weekly meditation sessions at a local pagoda. Sitting cross-legged on a cushion with numbness creeping up my legs, I aimed to gain mastery over my mind. I never fully succeeded in controlling it, but I did develop a growing awareness of its workings. This practice of mindful observation has stayed with me, even when I'm not meditating. It allows me to notice subtle moments and inner states that I might otherwise overlook. In journalism, where keen observation is essential, this skill has helped me follow questions wherever they lead, trusting that the answers often lie beyond what I think I already know. One influential figure who believed deeply in the power of spiritual insight to address environmental crises was Joanna Macy, a renowned scholar and activist who recently passed away at the age of 96. Her early encounters with Buddhism profoundly shaped her worldview and her approach to solving urgent ecological problems. Today, her ideas resonate widely, whether among protesters, scientists, or even within the Vatican, where Pope Francis issued his groundbreaking 2015 encyclical on the environment, Laudato Si. Duches LUM www.washingtonpost.com/local how Pope Francis's not yet official document on climate change is already stirring controversy. Macy used Buddhist teachings to help people see that they are not isolated individuals, but part of an interconnected whole, an intricate network of all living beings across time. As tangible as our veins and arteries, she encouraged us to confront our feelings of grief, anger, and despair over the destruction of nature, and to transform these emotions into positive, meaningful action. As she once told an interviewer, "The key is in not being afraid for the world's suffering. Then nothing can stop you." Vimeo.com/FLFI. This philosophy became the foundation of her Work That Reconnects. WorkThatReconnects.org, a practice and movement embraced by thousands worldwide, especially those overwhelmed by seemingly insurmountable environmental challenges. Macy believed that technological advances and policy reforms alone would never suffice to heal our planet. Instead, she argued what we truly need is a spiritual renewal, a shift in consciousness that awakens our collective moral and cultural fabric. Interestingly, a leading figure in the modern environmental movement, Gus Speth, co-founder of the Natural Resources Defense Council and the World Resources Institute, and former dean of Yale's School of the Environment, has reached a similar conclusion. Despite decades of scientific progress, Speth recently reflected that the greatest threats are not just ecological, but rooted in human traits like selfishness, greed, and apathy. He emphasizes that addressing these issues requires a profound spiritual and cultural transformation, something that scientists and lawyers are not equipped to lead. Macy's own journey began amidst the Himalayan foothills of northwest India. Her childhood summers on her grandfather's farm in western New York provided a stark contrast to the hideously confining concrete canyons of New York City, which she remembered as oppressive. After graduating from Wellesley College in 1950, she briefly worked for the CIA in post-war Germany before moving to India to assist Tibetan Buddhist refugees fleeing Chinese persecution. Her encounters with monks and her immersion in Buddhist teachings profoundly changed her outlook. Later, in the 1970s, Macy earned a PhD in religious studies at the age of 49. Her research was groundbreaking. She was among the first to explicitly connect Buddhist principles with Western systems theory, viewing Earth as a vast, interconnected system of which humans are an integral part. Her moral stance was clear. Our identity cannot be separated from the natural world, carrying deep implications for how we choose to live. During the Cold War era, as nuclear threats loomed, Macy founded the Nuclear Guardianship Project, https://naropa.edu/academics/schools/centers.jmc. She argued that radioactive waste, which remains lethal for over 10,000 years, should not be hidden away in underground tombs, but stored in retrievable, visible locations. This way, future generations could monitor and maintain safety, turning waste into a moral and cultural legacy. As environmental crises intensified, Macy observed rising despair and fear among many. Instead of retreating into false comfort or premature peace, she embraced suffering as an essential part of the process. She believed that facing pain and grief head-on was the only way to reclaim our power to act. In her 2021 interview on Being, she reflected, "That became perhaps the most pivotal point in my life, that dance with despair. To see how we are called to not run from discomfort, grief, outrage, or fear, but to be fearless in the face of it. Only then can we truly change." https://onbeing.org/program/Joanna Macy and Anita Barrow's What a World You've Got Inside You. Her core message was simple yet profound. Pain reveals what we love. The danger lies in numbing ourselves or distracting from our feelings, which deadens our response to crises like climate change or nuclear threats. In her book, World as Lover, World as Self, she warned that the deadening of our response is the greatest danger of all. Monica Mueller, an environmental studies and philosophy professor at Naropa University, highlights Macy's talent for translating this insight into practical tools through her writings and workshops that anyone can adopt. These teachings serve as antidotes to burnout and apathy, especially for activists facing overwhelming odds. Mueller recalls witnessing individuals arrive at her workshops in tears, only to leave with renewed strength and hope, feeling capable of continuing their vital work. As Macy aged, her outlook grew more somber about the likelihood of avoiding the worst of climate collapse and societal unraveling, what she called the Great Unraveling. Yet, even amid despair, she remained committed to loving the world and appreciating its beauty, even at the moment of loss. She believed that recognizing the signs of a great turning, https://onbeing.org/program/Joanna Macy and Anita Barrow's Paradal and World You've Got Inside You, was vital, a shift toward a more life-sustaining future. But here's where it gets controversial. Macy rejected the idea of hope as wishful thinking. In Buddhist tradition, hope is often seen as a form of attachment to a future that may never come. Instead, she argued that genuine hope is rooted in courage and imagination, an active choice to engage with the present moment and the world around us. She emphasized that real change depends on showing up, on loving this world fiercely, regardless of whether the future looks promising or bleak. So I ask you, do we truly need a spiritual awakening to heal our planet? Or can technological and policy solutions suffice? Or is this a false dichotomy? Are we ignoring the power of inner transformation that could unlock our collective potential? Share your thoughts below, because the debate over whether saving the Earth requires more than just science and policy is far from over.